Puck into the corner. Ruthven. Checked by Vervey. Vervey headmans it to Bacati, too strong. Compton retrieves in his own zone. Compton. Up to Validus. Validus. Forward path to Ruthven. Ruthven in on the keeper. Ruthven. Centering pass goes wide. Puck leaks out over the blue zone. Validus up to Compton. Intercepted by Chris Venter. Vervey can't pick up the puck. Here comes Validus. Validus working around Paulson. Validus gets a shot. Good save by Van der Merwe. Paulson in the corner. Paulson headmans it. Intercepted. Puck leaks out. Watson. Watson being checked by Venter. Chris Venter. Watson headmans it to Van Rooyen. Intercepted by John Venter. Picked up by Bremner. Bremner loses it. It's Redlinghuis in the corner. Coming out of his zone is Kleitz. Shot on net, hits the ceiling. And there'll be a face-off in the Wildcats' defensive zone. A little over 4 minutes gone in the first period. The score remains 0-0. Pretoria Capitals versus the Johannesburg Wildcats. Face-off will be the right of goalkeeper Ivan Mueller. It'll be Kleitz versus Vervey. There's a breakaway for Ruthven. Ruthven takes a shot. Checked by John Venter. A nice break up. Here comes a shot for Guy Van der Merwe. Deflected in the corner. Van der Merwe to Venter. Venter in the corner. Wheeling. Rims it to Van der Merwe behind the net. Watson's on Van der Merwe. Centering pass by Kleitz. Doesn't get through. Reinhard Venter in the corner. Being checked by Ruthven. Ruthven. Lane shoots it up into the netting, and there'll be another face-off in the Wildcats zone. The Ruthven versus Bacati in the face-off circle. Draw is won by Bacati, but there was a boo-boo and they'll redo it. Bacati versus Ruthven, round 2. Won by Ruthven this time. Lane takes it, shoots it around behind his net to Thornton. Thornton can't control it. Skosana and Lane battling in the corner. Goes to the point, shot from the net, wide. Van der Merwe keeps it inside. Shot by Bacati over the net into the netting. There'll be a face-off to the left of Mueller. The Chris Venter versus Bremner. Compton controlled behind his net, put to the point, quick shot from the point, good save by Mueller, tossed aside. Compton in the corner. Battling for it. There's a quick shot by Paulson. Gloved aside by Mueller. Puck leaks into the corner. Sanka Lane in his own end. Tosses it up to the point. Van der Merwe controls it. Paulson battling Bremner. Comes out to Chu from inside his own blue line. Puts it up to Venter. It'll be too long and icing. Puck will come back for the face-off in the Capitals zone. Ruthven versus Venter in the face-off. One by shot from the point. Good save by Vandermerver. Nice shot by Compton off that draw. No one in front though. Vandermerver saw it the whole way. Here's Validus in the corner. Validus centers it. Doesn't get through. Controlling it in the corner. Icing call again. Puck will come back into the cap zone as both sides, well, the Cats make changes. The Capitals have to bring the guys back on the ice. See if Bremner can win the draw again against Chris Venter. One again. Puck controlled by Van Rooyen, puts it behind the net. Controlled by Johan Vandermerver. Here comes Chu. Chu can't control it, and it's now with Compton. Compton tosses ahead to Bremner. Bremner crosses the center ice, tries to get back. Compton recovers in his own zone, being chased by Fenter. Compton over to Lane. Lane puts it up to Redlinghuis. Retrieved by Fenter. Fenter centers it, no one home. Lane has it again, chased by Vandermerver. Bremner in the corner. Puck just leaks out. It's Kleitz coming into the zone. Kleitz take a shot. Devon Vandermerver tossed aside, stick save by Mueller from the point. Shot by Radu, blocked. Vandermerver in the corner, toss it. Shot by Fenter, saved by Mueller. The Caps putting on some pressure, testing the Cats goalie about halfway through the first period. It's been a well-paced game. Not a lot of action. Both teams just feeding each other out so far. No really good chances. A bit of pressure on both ends, but no breakout moments so far. It's Skosana versus Ruthven. Validus comes out of his own zone. Tian Vandermerver coming out of his own end. Intercepted by Watson. Watson behind his net. Watson tosses it out. Put back in. Here comes the Cats. Intercepted by Vandermerver. Race for the puck. Sanka Lane and Tian Vandermerver. Vandermerver comes out with it behind the net. And now in the corner. Vandermerver to Skosana. Skosana to the point. Shot. Blocked. Wide. Vandermerver keeps it in. Johan. Skosana puts it back to Johan Vandermerver. Shot from the point. Blocked by Watson. Skosana chasing the puck in the corner. Skosana at the point. Leaves it for Tian Vandermerver. Puck centered. Here come the Cats. Ruthven at the blue line. Quick shot. Goes wide. Cats can't keep it in. Here's Compton. Chips it back to Watson. Watson tries to dump it in, but it's intercepted by John Venter. Van Rooyen in his own zone. Van Rooyen picked by Paulson. Paulson in the corner, centers it. Stick save by Mueller, tosses it aside. Now it's Compton with Paulson on him. Van Rooyen plays it back to Sanka Lane. Paulson giving him trouble. Back to the point. Here's Chu from the point. Shot intercepted. A block. Here comes Bremner. One-on-one. There's a penalty coming to Compton. 2 minutes for interference. That'll be the first penalty of the game. It'll be a 2-minute interference penalty to assistant captain Dylan Compton. 2 minutes for interference at 11:50 of the first period. And the Capitals will go on their first power play of the game. Face off won by the Cats. Can't get it out though. Kept in by Radu. Radu takes a shot. didn't get through. Puck is iced by the Cats. Played by Vandermerver up to Radu. Radu headlong pass to Kleitz. Kleitz breaking in, tries to center to Vandermerver. Too hard. Vandermerver back to the point. Intercepted. Here comes Validus. Validus breaking zone. Quick shot wide. Picked up by Kleitz. Long pass to Venter. Too hard. Puck goes all the way down the ice. Icing is waved off. Sanka Lane. Pressed by John Venter. Ices the puck down the zone. Collected by Devon Vandermerver. Vandermerver breaks into the Cats zone. Drops it. Shot for the point from Reinhard Venters. Goes wide and the puck goes all the way down the ice. Collected by Radu. Radu behind his net to Venter. Back to Radu. No, to John Venter. John Venter intercepted by Bremner. Here comes Bremner on a break. Bremner tries to squeeze it through the 5-hole, but Vandermerver squeezes him down. Bremner gets back to avoid a 3-on-2, and Watson just ices the puck down the zone. 35 seconds left in the penalty to assistant captain Dylan Compton. Here comes John Venter, trying to set something up. Just dumps it in and goes for a change. Malangeni can't control it behind his net. And it's iced by Van Rooyen. 13 seconds left in the penalty. Capitals might get one more rush if they go back to 5-on-5. Here comes Johan Vandermeer. It'll be icing. Could be icing. Icing's waved off. Puck's in the corner. Back out to the point. Leaks out. And here's Compton. Compton. Back to Watson. Long stretch pass to Ruthven. Can't control it. Battle for the puck at center ice. Put back to Compton. Compton to Watson. Watson just chucks it in center ice. Picked up by Thornton. Thornton to a streaking Valves. Can't control it. Here comes Picardi. Picardi takes a shot. Deflected wide and high. Booking a face-off in the Cat zone as both teams change with a little under 15 minutes gone in the first period. It remains a scoreless draw between the Pretoria Capitals and the Johannesburg Wildcats. Face-off won by the Cats. Rimmed around to Validus. Big check by Chu. Validus can't get it out. Chris Venter keeps it in. Sanka Lane controlling it behind his net. Picked off. There'll be a penalty for slashing on Riley Paulson. Number 4, Riley Paulson. We'll get 2 minutes for slashing at 14:43 of the first period, giving the Cats their first power play of the evening. We'll be hoping to do better than the Pretoria Capitals did on their first power play. It'll be Bremner against Vandermerver, won by the Cats. It's Validus back to Compton at the point. Compton to Bremner. Bremner at the net. Tries to leak it through. Blocked by Vandermerver. Behind the net. Over to Thornton. Puck controlled by the Cats. Thornton. Cross to Compton at the point. Compton takes a shot. No shot. Rebound right to Thornton. Can't get it through. Thornton controlling it. Behind the net to Bremner. Bremner to Thornton. Thornton. Back to Bremner in the corner. Bremner at the point now. Over to Thornton. Down low. Thornton. Intercepted by John Venter, who shoots it down the ice. As the Caps change. There comes Compton. Compton, long stretch pass to Ruthven, intercepted. Shot down the ice by Devon Vandermerver. Mueller, long stretch pass to Validus at center ice. Back, intercepted by offside. Picardi had a break, but Reinhard Venter was just a bit too keen to get across the line. It would have been a 2-on-0 or a 2-on-1, the worst case, but unfortunately it was an offside instead. Face-off will be just outside the Cats' blue line. Van Rooyen versus Denzel Vervey. Van Rooyen wins the draw, puts it back to Watson. Watson, long hit intercepted by Picati. Picati crosses the line. Picati, there will be a penalty coming up to the Cats. Picati was tripped while he was charging in across the blue line. Dave Watson will get 2 minutes for tripping at 16:01 of the first period, with 42 seconds left on Roddy Paulson's penalty. We'll have some 4-on-4 hockey for the next 42 seconds. It'll be Ruthven versus Kleitz. Quick shot from the point by Chu, goes wide. Here comes Lane. Lane intercepted by Vandermerwe. Up to Picati. Picati in the corner. Can't control it. Vandermerwe to the point. Kleitz. Shot from the point. Saved by Mueller. Rimmed around and down the ice by Compton with 17 seconds left in the penalty to Paulson. Ruthven versus Kleitz in the face-off. Kleitz wins the draw clearly. Back to the point. Fenter shoots. Attempt to tip by Kleitz. Went wide. Kleitz in the corner. Kleitz centers it to Fenter. Fenter shoots. Goes wide behind the net. Comes out to Radu at the point. Radu fishes in the corner. It's Kleitz. Kleitz intercepted by Valdez, who chips it down the ice. It's now 5-on-4 hockey. The Caps have a power play for about the next minute. See if they can make something of it. Here comes Fenter coming into the zone, going to try and set something out. He goes in behind his net. There will be a penalty against the Cats again for slashing. It's out to a shot from the point, saved by Mueller. So for the next 50 seconds, it'll be 5-on-3 hockey. Compton's coming in for his second penalty of the night. 5-on-3. That's Compton for slashing at 17:13 of the first period. His second penalty, also for slashing in the period. It'll be 5-on-3 hockey for the next 48 seconds. Shot from the point, blocked in front. Reinhard Fenter controlling it in the corner. Reinhard Fenter at the point, down to Kleitz in the corner. Kleitz centers it to Fenter, picked by the Capitals. Here comes Bremner. This ices it down the ice. Oh, it comes out in front of the net. If there was a Cats there, that would have been a surefire goal. Here comes Kleitz, rushing into the zone. Kleitz drops it back to Fenter, picked up by Vandermerwe. Shot, easily turned aside by Mueller. No one in front. Sanka Lane just dumps it down. 13 seconds left in the penalty to Compton. To Watson, sorry. Here comes Vandermerwe, gets it out. Vandermerwe skating into the zone. He's got Fenter on the other side, but they couldn't get it to him. Here's Fenter in front. Checked by Thornton. Controlled by Watson in the corner, who's fresh out the box. And here could be a break. Here come the Cats. Valdez couldn't control it. Sarah in front, a shot by Thornton goes wide. Here comes a break for Fenter. He's got 2-on-1, shoots. Oh, good pad shot, but the Caps player couldn't corral the rebound. Could be a high stick. Yeah. Sean Fenter corralled that puck with a bit of a high stick. The face-off will be just outside the Wildcats zone. It'll be Picati versus Bremner. Face-off won by Bremner. And just shot down Yeah, he's through the rafters by the Cats. There's 30 seconds left in the penalty to Compton. Capitals struggling a little bit to break out his own long stretch pass, intercepted but controlled by Vervey. Vervey brings it in and rims it around the back. It's Malangeni against Van Rooyen. Malangeni leaves it, shot from the point by Vandermerver, blocked. And here's a break for St. Helene, who can't corral it. And Vandermerver shoots it to the boards. Picati to Vervey, too much. Picked up by Malangeni, centers it, no shot. Van Rooyen, Compton to Ruthven, shot, blocked by Vandermerver. Teams are even strength, it's 5-on-5 hockey. Vervey battling for it, comes back out to Ruthven. Lane just puts it out. Picked up by Picati. Picati circling his own zone. Long stretch pass to Skosana. Skosana chips it in and chases. Picked up by Picati. Back to Skosana. Tries to center it. Picked off. Here's Bremner. Bremner skating out. Bremner crosses the blue line. Bremner charging hard. Weak shot in front. Easily turned aside by Vandermerver. Lane shoots it in on net as the period comes to a close. A scoreless draw after 20 minutes of play in the match between the Pretoria Capitals and the Joburg Wildcats.
in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through? For you, 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 won't you let the light shine through?
Draw was won by the Cats, but turned over to Fenter, who tosses it in to the Cat zone. We're playing 5-on-5. There were 2 penalties for each team in the first period. Neither team could score on the power play, and we're still square at 0-0 after 20 minutes. Radu passes up, intercepted, and ends up with Fenter, who tosses over to Kleitz. Kleitz back to Fenter. Fenter shoots high over the net. Puck careens out of the zone. Radu to John Fenter. John Fenter up to Kleitz, intercepted by Compton, and Thornton from his own corner passes it over to Lane. Lane, long stretch pass to Validus. Validus just inside the zone. Weak shot on net, easily stopped by Vandermerwe. Pacati can't control it. Quick shot by Thornton. Doesn't get through. Centers it in front. Picked up by Pacati. Pacati gaining speed. Long stretch pass to Vandermerwe, intercepted by Compton and deflected over the boards. Face-off will be outside the Wildcat zone with just about 2 minutes gone in the second period. A fairly sedate affair so far this evening. Wednesday night at the Grove Ice Rink in Pretoria. Maybe a lot of the players coming from work or school, and just a little bit more sedate than the weekend games. Johan Vandermerwe puts it up to Vucic Skosana, who tips it in behind the net. Here's Malangeni, tries to center it. Skosana rims it around. Battle for the puck along the boards. Quick shot by Johan Vandermerwe, seen clearly by Mueller, who stops it for a save. Face-off will be to the left of Mueller as the Caps change lines. Face-off is Bremner versus Chris Fenter. Won by Bremner, back to Compton. From behind the net, Compton. Hardboard pass goes up, could be icing. There's a race for the puck. It is icing. Van Rooyen was giving it a good press, but Reve was there just a little bit ahead of him, inducing the icing call. It'll be Bremner against Fenter again. To the left of Mueller. One bit of a mixed draw, but Bremner carries it out, pivots. Lane wheeling around, cross ice to Compton. Compton, long stretch pass to Bremner. Bremner at center ice. Can't control it, brings it back. Bremner to Compton. Compton into the zone. Compton can't get around Chu. Chu behind his net. Uh-oh. Yeah, there's going to be a penalty on Compton for tripping Chu. Here comes. That'll be Compton's third penalty of the evening. Oh, sorry, Compton's second. It's actually not Compton. It's Kawalenko. Kawalenko gets 2 minutes for tripping at 3:28 of the second period. That's Kawalenko, 2 minutes for tripping at 3:28 of the second period. Valdis tosses the ice to mid-rink, controlled by Fenter. Reinhard Fenter trying to skate through into the zone, takes a shot, deflected wide. Puck kept in by John Fenter, shoots it in front, intercepted, no shot. Kleitz wheels it around in front of the net, goes wide, Kleitz in the corner, Kleitz passes to the point, Radu shot from the point, easily saved by Mueller with no one in front. Mueller saw that the whole way. The Caps are going to get one from the point, they're going to have to get some traffic in front of Mueller. He saw that one, that was like seeing the Howe train at Sand Station from Hatfield Station in Pretoria. Face-off won by the Cats. Compton puts it behind to Watson, who just fires it down the ice on the goalie. Van Rooyen with a bit of pressure. Radu circling behind his own net. Radu to Vandermerver. Vandermerver back to John Fenter. John Fenter across. Nope. He skates it out. Fenter breaks into the zone. Trying to set something out. John in the corner. John Fenter in the corner. Passes to his brother Reinhard. Reinhard in the corner. Back to John Fenter. John Fenter working his way out. Up to Reinhard Fenter. Reinhard Fenter at the blue line. Back to John Fenter. Across to Radu. Radu, quick shot. Deflection. Puck's loose in front. Shot down the ice by Watson. 13 seconds left. And the penalty to number 13, Robert Korolenko. Intercepted. Here comes Bremner. At the blue line, Bremner can't get by Johan Vandermeer. Bremner shoots it behind the net as time expires on that penalty. And we're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Radu rims it around to Fenter. Fenter at the blue line. Malangini charging hard. Pad save, tossed aside by Mueller. Malangini couldn't get there. Picked up by Vandermerver. Johan Vandermerver up too far to Picardi. Picked up by Thornton behind his own net. Long centering pass. The Valdis picked off by Vandermerver. Vandermerver waiting for his team to get outside. Quick shot, gloved down by Mueller. Behind the net, it's Thornton. Thornton to Valdis. Valdis in his corner. Back to Thornton. Thornton picked by Picardi. Picardi in the corner now. Guy centers at the front. To Tion Vandermerver. Deflected in front by Thornton. Thornton and Skosana battling in the corner. Skosana comes out with it, centers it. Behind the net. Comes to Vandermerver. Picked up by Malangini behind his net. Malangini to Skosana. Looking to pass, but he's not moving his feet. Behind the net, comes out in front. And shot down the ice by Lanka on net. Vandermerver will play it. To Vandermerver, to Tion Vandermerver. Tion Vandermerver pressed by Thornton. Gets it back to Johan Vandermerver, who's skating it out. Johan Vandermerver, long stretch pass to Picardi, goes wide. Put out by, picked up by Malangini. Malangini gets a shot, goes wide. Picked up by Ruthven. Ruthven skate along the boards. Ruthven can't get across the blue line. Picked up by Picardi. Picardi and Ruthven battling on the boards. Kept in by Sanka-Lane. Now by Picardi. Turned over to Ruthven, waiting for Lane to get onside. Now picked up by Chu. Chu fires along the boards to Picardi. Picardi headmans it to Skosana. Skosana shoots it, rims it around the boards. Chris Fenter and Van Rooyen battling for the puck. Goes back behind the net. Fight for the puck. Here's Chu. Shoots it on net. Easily tossed aside by Mueller. Looping pass picked up by Van Rooyen. Shot! Easily saved by Vandermerver with no traffic in front. He saw that just like the Howe train from Hatfield Station to Santon City. All the way, no traffic in front. The face-off will be to the left of Vandermerver. Fenter versus Bremner. Won by Fenter. Won by Bremner. Bremner centers it. Comes back to Watson. Watson, quick shot from the point. Pad save, tossed aside by Vandermerver. Bremner battling in the corner. Comes back out. Intercepted by John Fenter. Chris Fenter. Quick shot. Deflected wide. There's a shot from John Fenter to the net. Doesn't get through. Blocked. A lot of block shots tonight. There's a lead pass. A little too far for Van Rooyen, and it's icing. Oh, sorry, that was Redlinghuis. A little too far for Redlinghuis. The puck will come all the way back into the Cats zone. With a little over 9 minutes gone in the second period, remains a scoreless draw between the Joburg Capitals, Joburg Wildcats, and the Pretoria Capitals. Face-off will be Bremner versus Kleitz. Kleitz wins the draw back to Vandermeer. Quick shot on net, easily gloved by Mueller. And the Cats go for it clean. Be Ruthven versus Kleitz this time in the face-off circle. Won by Kleitz, back to the point. Quick shot and deflection in front, goes wide. Puck deflected out of play. It's a good set play with a shot by John Fenter onto the stick of Kleitz in front, but Kleitz didn't get a lot of wood on as deflection went wide. No one there to pick up a rebound. And we'll have a face-off to the right of Mueller. The Ruthven versus Kleitz again. Clean draw by Kleitz. Weak shot by Vandermeer. The glove save by Mueller. Won by Kleitz again, but a broken draw. Fired out. Fenter's battling in the corner. Picked up by Vandermeer, can't get a shot. Comes to Thornton. Thornton back to Compton. Compton and Vandermeer were battling in the corner. Thornton tries to get it out. Fenter centers the pass in front. Doesn't get through. Cass just trying to get it out and down the ice. It's John Fenter. Wide pass to Kleitz. Kleitz centers it to Vandermeer. Tries to needle a pass through to Kleitz. Kleitz now behind his net. Sends it to Vandermeer. Weak shot, partial deflection, saved by Mueller. A little over 10 minutes gone. In the second period, we have a 0-0 draw between the Pretoria Capitals and the Johannesburg Wildcats. Bremner versus Picardi, won by Bremner. Taken by Lane behind his net, can't clear it. Picked up by Bremner. Bremner out to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen and Vandermeer. Van Rooyen leans into Vandermeer. Picked up by Kowalenko. Kowalenko and Vandermeer battling in the corner. Picked up by Bremner. Bremner to Watson at the point. Watson, quick shot. Wide, but Vandermeer side. It's Vandermeer in the corner. Rims it around. Tries to get Picardi, intercepted by Van Rooyen. Deflected shot on net, goes wide. Picked up by Picardi. Picardi puts it up to Picardi. Picardi controlling in the corner. Skosana and Kowalenko battling in the corner. Skosana rims it to the point. Comes back to Vandermeer. Quick shot on net. Pad save by her. And scores! Picardi. Mueller made the initial save. Pad save, but he went down. Picardi picked up the rebound in front. Lots of time. Waited for Mueller to go down and put a top shelf glove hand side. That was definitely Picardi scoring the goal. There was a shot from the net. So that first goal was scored by Dion Picardi, assisted by number 18, Jesus Skosana, and number 19, Tion Vandermeer. The time of that goal was approximately 11:32. That's Picardi from Skosana and Tion Vandermeer. First goal of the game for the Pretoria Capitals with just over 12 minutes gone in the first period. Let's see if the Cats can get it back. Here's Paulson in front of the net. Takes a shot, goes wide. Brevet, quick shot on net, turned aside by Mueller. Watson tosses it just over the boards, and there'll be a face-off to the left of Mueller as both teams change sides. So the Capitals strike first in the third meeting of these two teams in the 2025 South Africa Super League. Kleitz versus Bremner. Bremner wins it, picked up by Lane. Lane behind his net. Behind to Compton, who headmans it to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen headmans it. There's a break for Redlinghays. Can't control, picked up by Venter. Venter, too strong for Kleitz, picked up by Compton. Compton, long stretch pass to Van Rooyen. Redlinghays and Vandermeer were battling for it, picked up by Venter, just inside the zone. Vandermeer in the corner, passes it back to Venter. Venter in the corner to Kleitz. Kleitz centers it to Venter, good shot on net, good save by Mueller, back to Venter. Compton. Compton to Lane. Lane tosses it out, picked up by Radu. Radu at his own blue line, long stretch pass to Vandermeer, picked up by Kleitz. 2-on-2, Kleitz, shot, pad shot, no one there to get the rebound. Here comes Redlinghays to Validus, shot, was sharp angle, easily saved by Vandermeer. Picked up by Venter. Venter crosses center ice, takes a shot, tries to go wide on Lane. Pivots in the corner, looking for someone open. In front. Scored by Kleitz. A lot of patience shown by Reinhard Venter. He set it in front of his net. No one was on Kleitz, streaking in from the right. The Capitals get their second goal of the game. Again, that is second goal scored by number 8, Stefan Kleitz, assisted by number 14, Reinhard Venter. And that's a 2-0 lead. The Capitals over the Cats. Here's a shot by Watson from the point. Deflected in front. Comes in the corner. Picardi puts it up to Malangeni. Malangeni to Skosana. Recovered by Validus, puts it wide for Ruthven. Ruthven and Malangeni battling for it. Ruthven comes out with it. Ruthven over to Watson. Caps making a change. Here's Picardi. Picardi wheels. Picardi trying it again. Crosses the blue line. Picardi takes a sharp angle shot. Saved by Mueller. With a little over 15 minutes gone in the second period, the score is 2-0 Pretoria Capitals versus the Joburg Wildcats. It'll be Chris Venter versus Bremner in the face-off zone. Won by Venter. Checked by Compton. Compton wheeling behind his own net. Compton up to Karolenko. Picked up by Chu. Chu sends the puck into the Cap zone with a hard forecheck by Paulson. Compton picks up the puck. Compton works around, sends it to Karolenko, who can't handle the pass. Now turns around, it's Brevet. Brevet passes it off to Paulson. Paulson shot. Solid save by Mueller. Sanka Lane. Sanka Lane up to Bremner. Can't get it in the corner, rims it around. Van Rooyen can't pick it up. And the Caps regroup in their own zone. Choose pick by Kaulenko, but gets it back. Out to Finter. Head managed it to Paulson, who would have had a partial breakaway, but he's just a little bit too enthusiastic and was offside. We'll draw a face-off. To the right of goalkeeper Ivan Mueller, just outside the Cats' blue line. Oh, there's a two-line pass. Not offside, so therefore the face-off will come all the way back to be just outside the Capitals' blue line. Won by Kleitz, sends it back into his own zone to Fenter. Fenter from his own corner. Long stretch pass, hit Thornton in the helmet, and ends up going all the way down the ice to Ruthven. Ruthven rims it around. Picked up by Thornton, who tries to headman it to Validus. Loses it. Kleitz shoots. Solid save by Mueller. Puck leaked behind him, but they cleared it. Saved by Vandermeer after a good hustle by the Cats. Had that icing waved off as the Cats and the Capitals changed with a little over, well, with 3:18 left to go in the second period. The score is 2-0 Pretoria Capitals over the Johannesburg Wildcats. It'll be Bremner versus Picardi in the face-off circle. Won by Bremner, who tries to put it right through, controls it. Sared in front, but Redlinghuis couldn't get the shot away. Comes back to Compton. Compton. Redlinghuis. Ends up with Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen. Shot from the point, blocked. Vandermerver loses it. Taken by Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen also can't get it. Bremner rims it around the back. Bremner from nice net, centers it. Hits the netting. Picked up by Picardi. Picardi regrouping in the corner. Comes to Skasana. Just tosses it out. Picked up by Malageni, and Skasana shoots it down with the icing. With a little over 2 minutes left to go in the second period of the game. Race for the puck, won by Lane, who shoots it over the boards a little too high, drawing a face-off to the right of Mueller. Ruthven versus Chris Fenter in the face-off circle. Won by Fenter, but collected by the Cats. Compton large pitch back to Validus. Validus checked by Chu. Validus is going after Chu. And now Ruthven's getting in there. A bit of physicality. The stick is shot down the ice. Captain Stefan Kleitz pulling one of his players away, it looks like Arthur Chu away from the Cats players. There will definitely be some penalties. We'll see what the referees decide. But Validus took exception to Chu's initial check, and then there was some follow-up action between a few players. The referees are conferring before deciding on the infractions arising from that incident along the boards in front of the Cats bench. It looks like there will be no penalties from that little bit of roughhousing along the boards. The referees giving a stern lecture to the players to maintain their composure, but no one's going to the sin bin for those purse fights along the boards in front of the Cats bench. Face off at center ice, it's Ruthven versus Kleitz. Kleitz wins the draw cleanly to John Fenter. John Fenter into the Cat zone, centers it. Easy return, quick breakout. Here comes Validus. Validus into the zone, being chased by Fenter. Fenter wins the battle. Puck comes out to center. Here comes Kleitz. Kleitz out to John Fenter. Puck intercepted by Thornton. Thornton intercepted by Kleitz. Kleitz coming in the zone, looking to pass. Tries to get across to his brother, intercepted. Here comes Validus, breaking into the Capital zone, intercepted. Now Fenter! Fenter and Kleitz on 2-on-1. Only the counter back. Shot to Fenter. Fenter. Good pad save by Mueller on 2-on-1. Puck still in the Cat zone. Puck comes out to Fenter. Can't get through. Here comes Bremner. Bremner's got to beat Radu. Bremner's around Radu. The shot scores! Bremner in a very strong individual effort. Brings the Cats to within 1 goal with just over a minute left in the second period. That first goal for the Cats scored by number 21, Garrett Bremner. The first goal at 18:51 of the second period. Puck goes back to Johan van der Merwe, circling behind his net. Too much for Skasana, picked up by Malangeni. Malangeni crossing the blue zone, trying to put it back to Picardi. Picked up by Skasana again, battling in the corner with Bremner. There will be a penalty. Hooking. Lucy Skasana will get 2 minutes for hooking, and the Cats will go on the power play for the last 50 seconds of the second period and the first minute of the third period. That's Skasana, 2 minutes for hooking at 19:13 of the second period, and we'll see if the Cats can draw even before the intermission. Back to Watson at the point. Watson, shot, blocked by Fenter. Picked up by Thornton. Thornton circling the corner, down low to Ruthven. Ruthven to Validus. Validus behind his net. Wide to Compton. Compton centers it. Deflected outside the zone. Watson has to regroup. 20 seconds left in the second period. Headmans it to Ruthven, who can't corral it. Ruthven forwarded to Validus. Validus beats his man, beats Fenter. There's Validus. Passes wide. That was a good chance for Validus. He elected to pass to Thornton, who couldn't get his stick on the puck. And then the rebound took it into the ceiling, drawing a face-off in the Capital zone to the left of van der Merwe with 6 seconds left in the period. Kept in and out. And that should end the period. There'll be 1 minute and 13 seconds left in the penalty. The hooking penalty to Vusi Skasana. And the Cats will start the third period with a power play. But after 2, it remains 2-1. Pretoria Capitals over the Johannesburg Wildcats. Jason Van Rooyen. Jason is the head referee for
Gauteng Ice Hockey Association.
And one of the most promising officials in South Africa. Jason, a pretty clean game so far, only 6 penalties, nothing you guys didn't seem to have a grip on.
No, it's been a good game so far. Guys have been behaving themselves for the most part, so exciting third period to come.
And one of the things, we've talked to a lot of the club owners and some players, but everyone forgets beyond playing hockey, there's an exciting opportunity to participate in the game as an official in ice hockey, and that opens up a lot of doors that people don't realize. Can you maybe just talk to us about your journey refereeing and the opportunities that that's brought to you and that might be available to other youngsters in the country who might be interested in pursuing a career, maybe not as a player, but as an official?
Yeah, so I started officiating about 10, 11 years ago, and it's been pretty good. So started off doing junior leagues, moving my way up through the ranks over the years, and then in 2023 I managed to get my IHF license, go do a World's Division 3A down in Cape Town, and then in 2025 this year went over to Mexico to do Division 3B. So it's been a lot of fun, a good journey, and those that want to take up refereeing, and if you feel that it's maybe not going to make it into a national side, but you've got a keen eye for the game, why don't you put the stripes on and give it a go?
And certainly, as you say, it's an opportunity not only to travel within the country, but you've gone to a couple exciting places overseas as part of that journey.
Yeah, so as South Africa is one of the member nation associations of the IHF, we generally, the officials that are assigned from South Africa, go do world championships in and around where the South African national teams play. So the SA men's senior side is in the Division 3A. So as an IHF official from South Africa, we'll probably be looking at going to the 3A tournament, 3B, or Division 4, which are in some interesting places. Countries like Mongolia, Indonesia, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Mexico, Turkey. So not your usual first choice tourist destinations, but interesting nonetheless.
And what's it like being over at those tournaments as an official? I mean, I imagine it could be similar, but it could also be different than being at those tournaments as a player.
As an official, it's a really good experience. You get to officiate with other officials from various different nations. The last tournament was that we had guys from Canada, USA, Austria, Turkey, Mexico. So in the past I've had guys from New Zealand, Australia. So very broad range. Experience-wise as well, been fortunate to officiate with some guys that have participated as officials in Olympics or men's worlds top division. They bring a wealth of experience, and I learn a lot at these tournaments.
And you get a chance to see the localities at all? Do you get a day off, a break from your duties?
Yes, unfortunately during the tournaments you've got 2 days off, and on those days we go and we tour around and have a look and see what attractions there are in the area.
And have they delegated the assignments yet for this upcoming tournament season?
No, those will only be done probably towards the end of the year, beginning of next year.
Well, good luck, and we hope you get some good assignments for the upcoming championship season. Best of luck.
Thanks a lot.
Hope the third period is just as quiet.
I hope so too.
My heart rages around like an ocean in my head because there are so many things that I left unsaid. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that is not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. My heart rages around like an ocean in my head. I can almost feel you walking in the distance, but I know that is not reality. If you are echoing around inside these parallel dimensions all alone, know I'll find you in my dreams. I'll find you in my
Hellcat.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the third period of the third game. Head-to-head match between the Johannesburg Wildcats and the Pretoria Capitals. The score is 2-0. Oh, sorry, 2-1. The score is 2-1 in favor of the Pretoria Capitals over the Cats after a late goal scored by the Cats. Drew them within one. They're on a power play for the next minute, the opening minute of the third period, and let's see if they can make something of it. Here comes Frank Verdu, got picked just at the blue line. It's Dave Watson, back to Dylan Compton. Dylan Compton to Ruthven. Ruthven gets around Fenter. Now Compton. Fenter picks Compton and tries to shoot the puck down the ice. Watson over to Validus. Validus shot, oh! It was not a hard shot, but it kind of handcuffed Vandermeer a little bit and it almost went in. Vandermeer just got a bit of the glove on that and then went down and just wide of the net. Almost a goal there, almost the equalizer for the Capitals. They're trying to break out. Here comes Bremner. Across the net, takes a shot, deflected high over the net. Picked up by Redlinghase. Redlinghase shot on net, didn't get through. Watson, chased by Fenter. Watson behind his own net. The penalty has expired. It is now 5-on-5. The Cats unable to capitalize on a man advantage. Weak shot by Van Rooyen goes wide. Picked up by Bremner. To Compton. Compton back to Bremner. Bremner puts it in through to Van Rooyen. Offside. Face-off will be just outside the Caps blue line. It's Picardi versus Bremner, won by Bremner. Collected by Compton in his own zone. Compton, stretch pass to Van Rooyen. Can't control it. Picked up by Melangeni. Shoots it down and tossed to the corner by Mueller. Compton back to Lane. Lane, long stretch pass to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen can't control it. Goes in the corner. Vandermeer can't control it. Centered by Redlinghase. Redlinghase in the corner. Behind the net, Redlinghase. Redlinghase tries to center it, picked up by Picardi. Picardi breaking out. Tosses to Skasana. Skasana in the corner, rims it around to Picardi. Picardi to the point, to Vandermeer. Shot goes wide. Picked up by Skasana at the point, can't keep it in. Here comes Bremner, breaking out to Redlinghase. Redlinghase can't center it. Here comes Skasana. Skasana back to Chu. Chu coming out. Oh! Almost got taken out by Ruthven. Just missed a brutal head hit. Ducked and just missed. Controlled in the zone by Thornton in the corner. Now back to Fenter. Kept in. Cross to Validus. Shot blocked. Comes back to Compton in his own blue line. Compton wheeling up to Validus. Validus chucks it to center. Fenter headmans it to Chris Fenter. Chris Fenter shot from a sharp angle. Saved by Mueller. in front. Shot doesn't get through. Here comes almost a breakaway for Thornton, but saved by Fenter, who shoots it in wide, high over the net. Picked up by Paulson. Each team making changes with just about 5 minutes gone in the third and final period of this third rematch between these two teams. The score 2-1 in favor of the Pretoria Capitals. Cleanly won by Fenter, who puts it on net. Saved by Mueller. Kleitz in the corner. Rims it around. Picked up by Van Rooyen and Fenter battling. Fenter shoots it. Deflected by Van Rooyen. Watson tosses it out. There'll be a high stick if he touches it. Yep. Would have been a good hustle by Van Rooyen. But it was a high stick outside the cat zone, and the faceoff will be just outside their blue line. Bremner versus Kleitz. Won by Bremner. Pinned on the board by Vandenberger. Kleitz fires it around the net. Picked up by Fenter. Comes to Karolinsko, who tosses it down, but a little bit too far for anyone, and it'll be icing. Puck will come back. Face off in the cap zone with 6 minutes and 10 seconds gone in the third period. Clock's ticking down for the Caps. Cats got to try and dig deep and find another goal. They've only got 9 players, but it's been a close game so far. Bacardi versus Bremner. Bit of a mixed draw. Picked up offside by puck, just leaks out. Played by Vandenberger back in, causing the offside faceoff and the draw just outside the Cats zone. Ruthven versus Bacardi. Bacardi shoots it ahead. Good plan. Watson saw it coming. Puck goes down into the Caps zone. Here comes Bacardi. Tried to head man it, but picked up by Watson. So 3-on-2. Watson can get it over to somebody. He elects to shoot. That's deflected and goes high. Face off will be to the right of Vandenberger. The shots after 2 periods were 35-19 in favor of the Capitals over the Cats. Face off won by the Capitals. The puck battle in the corner, taken out by Paulson, who just dumps it in. Collected by Compton. Being chased by... Puck goes all the way down the ice. It will be icing. It will be icing. Face off to the left of Mueller, won by the Cats. Compton collects it, rims it around, and it goes out of play. Face off now to the right of goaltender Ivan Mueller. He's faced 35 shots in the first 2 periods of the game. Kept in by the Capitals. Ruthven around to Compton. Compton to Thornton. Compton, long stretch pass to Validus. No, it comes back out. Quick shot by Validus, saved by Vandenberger. There comes Fenter. Stretch pass to Vervey. Vervey shoots it all the way down the ice. It's a deflection. Oh, no, it will be icing. Cats change. For a face-off to the left of goaltender Ruan van der Merwe, who's faced 19 shots in the first 2 periods of this game. Face-off won by Chris Venter, but the puck goes in the corner. Controlled by John Venter, who rims it around. Kept in at the point by David Watson. Puts it in the corner for Redlinghuis. Vervey picks Redlinghuis, and it comes to Paulson on the far boards. Paulson chips it up to Vervey, who can't control it. Goes back to Compton. Compton breaking back out. Cross-ice pass to Van Rooyen, picked off by Venter. Venter breaking into his own zone. Pivots in the corner. Reinhard Venter rims it around the side, picked up by Redlinghuis. Redlinghuis back to Watson. Watson to Compton. To Watson. Redlinghuis. Cross-ice pass to Van Rooyen, a little bit too far, but not enough for icing. And the Cats change. Long stretch pass picked off by Watson. Taken in by Redlinghuis, by Venter. Bit of sloppy hockey in the middle. Puck eventually settling down with Van der Merwe, who can't get it across. And Thornton centers it, tipped back across center ice to Lane. Lane around net to Watson, chased by Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe shoots. Nice deflection attempt by Venter, goes wide. Van der Merwe at a wide open net, but shot got deflected. Here comes Ruthven. Ruthven can't get into the zone. Van der Merwe, stretch pass for Venter's too much. Cats get it out. Here comes Ruthven. Puts it up. Van der Merwe to Devon Van der Merwe to Johan Van der Merwe. Who shot tossed aside by the blocker. Saved by Mueller. In the corner, Ruthven can't control it. It's Piccati to John Venter, quick shot. Hits Malangani. Here come the Cats. To toss it down the ice, could be icing. Yes, it is. The refs will often give you a foot or two on those icings, but they're not going to give you 6 feet on those icings. So the puck will come back. Face-off will be to the left of Mueller, who surely will have faced over 50 shots already, cumulatively halfway through the third period. Face-off won by the Capitals. Sank the lane in the corner, scoops it out. Retrieved by John Venter. Puts it up to Piccati, who chips it in for Radu. Shot blocked by Bremner. Bremner tosses it. Run to the side, collected by Van Rooyen. Watson just tosses it up to mid-ice, collected by Venter, who puts it out. Bremner to Compton, tries to shoot it in. Blocked by Skasana, collected by Redlinghuis. Puck coming out. Sanka Lane should get to it. Sanka Lane and Radu battling for the puck. Centered and tossed aside with a stick save by Mueller. Here we go. It's a 2-on-1-ish. Picked up by Skasana. He breaks up a possible 2-on-1 around to Radu. Radu headmans it to Malangani. Malangani centers it for Piccati, who just chips it wide. Thornton. Malangani in the corner. Compton behind his net. Pressured by Skasana. Puck goes all the way down the ice. Validus behind the Capitals net. Validus looking for Someone send the puck to centers it. Picked off by Picardi. Can't get it out. Ruthven shoots it down in the corner. Picardi to Fenter as the Capitals change. Fenter, a long stretch pass. Icing. It's got to be icing. Yeah. So the puck will come back into the Capital zone. So a face-off to the left of Ruan van der Merwe. Ruthven versus Chris Fenter. Won by Ruthven. Valdez can't control it. Ruthven's got it. Passes over. Shot. Scores! Scores! Valdez ties the game with 5:43 left in the third period. After a bit of a broken face-off, there was a good hustle and awareness of the Cats to tie the game. So that's number 44, Jack Valdez, for the Cats' second goal tonight at 14-13. Assisted by number 10, Matthew Ruthven. That's Valdez from Ruthven at 14-13. It's going to make the last 5 minutes of the game very interesting. Puck's in the corner. Fenter shoots. Goes wide. Puck kept in by Johan van der Merwe. As Van Rooyen, the long stretch pass, a little too strong for Kowalenko, and the play will come all the way back into the Wildcats zone for an icing face-off to the left of Mueller with a little over 5 minutes to go in the third period. Face-off won by the Cats. Watson in the corner. Picked off by Price. Van Rooyen in the corner battling van der Merwe. Picked up by Bremner. Bremner tosses it out. Tion van der Merwe. Headmans it to Kleitz. Kleitz can't get around Watson. Here comes Bremner. Bremner passes over to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen shot blocked by Fenter with the puck bouncing over the boards. Ruthven versus Picardi in the draw. Won by Ruthven, back to the point. Compton's shot, blocked in front by Fenter. Here comes Picardi behind his net. Outlet to Skasana. Skasana headmans it to Picardi, who's got some wheels. He shoots! Wide. Puck careens around the boards out to center ice. Collected by Thornton. Headmans it to Ruthven. Can't get it in. Troubling shot. Bobbled by van der Merwe, but he got it, and now it's controlled in the corner by Picardi. Valdez very opportunistic on that play. Uh-oh, here we go. Ooh. Skasana in the corner. Behind his net, tries to put it up front, doesn't get four. Here's Skasana again. Oh, kicked out by the Cats, who are bit of sloppy hockey right now. John Fenter puts it up to Guillaume Redoux, crosses the blue line. Redoux to Skasana. Shot gloved by Mueller and held for a face-off with 3 minutes and 26 seconds left to go. In the third period, we have a 2-2 tie between the Pretoria Capitals and the Johannesburg Wildcats. Low-scoring affair, few chances but each team has made the most of the opportunities they've been given. Face off won by the Capitals. It's collected by Lane. Lane rims it around to Redlinghuis, who loses it to Vandermerver. Puck comes out at center ice. Chased by Bremner. Redlinghuis fires it down and around. There's Van Rooyen battling with Vandermerver. Here comes Kleitz, breaking down. Takes a shot deflected by Compton, the puck hitting the ceiling. Drawing a face-off to the right of Mueller with just under 3 minutes to go in the third period. It's a 2-2 tie. The Kleitz versus Ruthven. Won by Ruthven. Lane puts it around the boards. There's Thornton. Thornton can't get it out. Puck's in the corner. Rimmed around by Lane. Goes too far for Validus. It's going to be icing. Icing is waved off. It's now Vandermerver. Johan Vandermerver to TM Vandermerver to Stefan Kleitz. One-on-one against Lane. Kleitz in the corner. Centers it. No one there. Pick up his pass. Centering pass to Validus. Puts it ahead. Looking for Thornton, but it was deflected down. Icing. No, it hit the referee. So it's not icing. Here's Kleitz to Fenter in the corner. Fenter wheeling behind the Cats' net. Picked up by Validus, who tries to get it out. Vandermerver sends it back down around. Picked up by Kleitz. Taken out by Thornton. Reinhard Fenter. Shot deflected by Watson. Took one in the knee. Compton just sends it to center ice. Collected by John Fenter. John Fenter to Stefan Kleitz. To the boards to Reinhard Fenter. Reinhard Fenter just puts it in. No. I don't think that was icing, but they're going to call it. It was deflected. It was deflected after the blue line by the Cats player, but I think the refs missed it and it'll be icing. The Cats are protesting that icing call. So a bit of controversy with 1 minute and 39 seconds left in the game. A very controversial icing call made by the officials. Drawing a face-off to the left of Mueller. It'll be Kleitz versus Ruthven with 1 minute and 39 seconds left in a 2-all game. Won by the Cats. Watson chips it on the boards. Fenter and Validus battling for it. Comes up. John Fenter can't get it. It's Validus. Validus coming down. Validus leaves it for Thornton, who can't collect it. Kleitz. Kleitz puts it down to Watson. Ruthven. Back to Compton. Compton, long stretch pass to Thornton, who's just gassed. The guys, these 9 players on the Cats, they've got nothing left. Thornton could not pick up that pass. And it'll be another icing call with 1 minute and 12 seconds left in the game. Cats playing with fire. The Capitals pressing for a win during regulation play. They don't want to see this going to overtime. And there's 2 back-to-back face-offs in the Cat zone. Picati shoots. Blocked in front. Radu picking it up. Puts it around the back of the net. Picked up by Compton. Compton to Validus. Goes to the point. Shot blocked. Comes outside to Ruthven. Nope. Picked up by Picati. There's 55 seconds left. Here comes Validus. Shot. Goes wide. Validus in the corner. Validus battling with Picati. 45 seconds left. Validus. Now it's to Ruthven. Picked up by Fenter. Checked by Ruthven and Fenter. Battling for it. Comes out to Validus. Center ice. Chips it to Ruthven. Ruthven by himself. Ruthven centers it. Tipped. Now the Caps goes to the corner. Uh-oh. Here we go. 20 seconds left. Here comes Kleitz. Kleitz over to Fenter. Fenter shoots. Blocked. Comes back out. Here comes Karolenko. Karolenko by himself. Karolenko. Puck comes out. The goalie, Mueller, is down with 10 seconds left. Mueller is injured. He's not moving. I did not see what happened. We don't know what happened. The paramedics are coming on. He didn't take that last shot. That last shot got blocked and got pushed outside the blue line. So I don't know if there was some contact with skaters from the Cats or the Capitals in front of him, or something happened. I don't know. We'll get a report when we can. So we have been advised that there was just some contact. There was contact between the goalie and a player, and that's what caused the injury to Mueller. And there will be a penalty assessed to the captain of the Pretoria Capitals, number 8, Stefan Kleitz. Will get 2 minutes for goaltender interference. So that's Kleitz, 2 minutes for goaltender interference at 19:50 of the third period. So for 10 seconds, that will give them a power play, and then they'll have a power play extending. It's one. Compton at the point. Compton in the corner to Validus. Validus back to Compton. Shot from the point. Saved by Vandermeer. And now it's shot down the ice. That will do it. But the Cats will have a man advantage for 1 minute and 50 seconds of the overtime period, as we end with a 2-2 draw after 60 minutes of play in the third match between the Joburg Wildcats and the Pretoria Capitals, with each team having earned a victory in their previous matches. And this rubber match up for the Gauteng leg so far will be decided in overtime. What's interesting about this, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, is that whoever wins this game, the loser will receive 1 point, which means potentially if the Wildcats win, that 1 point for the Capitals could make a big difference in their standing relative to the Cape Town Kings. So it remains very, very important for the Capitals to win this game. But the Cats have done well to take them into overtime, and we'll see how the rest of the Super League plays out. But it could be a very valuable point that was conceded tonight. Starting for the Wildcats will be Validus, Ruthven, Watson, and Lane. For the Capitals will be Picardi, Johan Vandermeer, and Denzel Vervey. It'll be 4-on-3 hockey for 1 minute and 45 seconds until Stefan Kleitz gets out of the sin bin, and we will return to 3-on-3 hockey. Centered in front, steer side. Here comes Picardi. He's got wheels. Can't take it. Lane coming back. Lane deciding to set up. Lane shoots it across to Validus. Validus setting up in the corner. Pressured by Vandermeer. Ruthven picks up the puck. Centers it, but it's picked up Vervey. Vervey centers it wide to the bench, and it's picked up by Bremner. Bremner back to Compton. Compton to Bremner. Here comes Bremner. Bremner's got a shot. He takes it. Shoots pad save by Vandermeer. Shot down the ice by the Caps. Fenter hustling. Can't just get to it, and the Caps will be on a power play for another 45 seconds. Here comes Compton. Rink wide pass for Bremner, goes too far. John Fenter tries to put down there, but it comes to Van Rooyen. Intercepted by Devon Vandermeer, who shoots it down the ice. Compton trying to regroup. 30 seconds. Stretch pass. Called for icing. 21 seconds left in the penalty to Kleitz. Mueller seems to be back in form. He's pressing his head a little bit with his glove. Might be feeling the effects of that contact in the crease earlier, but let's see if it comes into play if this goes to a shootout. Kleitz is back on the ice. Playing 4-on-4 hockey right now. Picardi over to Vervey. Vervey shot, didn't get through. Here come the Cats. Here they come. Here comes Thornton. Van Rooyen in the corner, checked by Vandermeer. Picked up by Vervey. Vervey skating it out. Gets around one man. Headmans it to Kleitz. Kleitz takes a shot. Saved by Mueller. Now we should go to 3-on-3 hockey, as Kleitz now was on for that shift. It was 4-on-4 because of the penalty, but now it should be 3-on-3. It'll be Ruthven, Watson, and Validus against Fenter, and Kleitz, with 2 minutes left in overtime. Dave Watson wheeling behind his own net, looking to get out. Outlet pass to Validus, puts an outlet pass to Ruthven. Ruthven beats Fenter. Ruthven takes a shot. Missed the net, high behind the net. Didn't miss by much though. Ruthven battling the corner with Fenter. Validus is in there as well. Validus comes out with it. It's a hand pass. Play blown down for a hand pass. Both teams will change with 1 minute and 28 seconds left in the overtime period between the Cats and the Caps. Won by the draw was won, but Picardi gets it. Here comes Picardi. He doesn't get through. Oh, here comes Bremner. Bremner might have a break. He's being chased down by Vandermeer, but does he get through? No. Gets a shot away, but steered aside by Vandermeer. Here comes also a 2-on-2. Here comes Picardi, brushed aside by Bremner. Lane. Now Lane's taking a shot at it. Lane going through, tossed aside by Vandermeer. 42 seconds left. Passed up to Picardi. Picardi circling in his own zone. Stretch pass to Vandermeer, who can't get it. And frozen by Mueller with 26 seconds. So it's running time in overtime, so we've only got 10 seconds left. Kleitz hits the ceiling. They'll draw a face-off, which will bring the overtime to a close, as they will not get the puck drop before time expires. So now we will go into a shootout, and the format will be first 5 shooters will be preordained, like the cardinals in the conclave of the Vatican, and if no one is ahead, after 5 shots per team, we will go to a sudden death shootout with 1 player from each team until one side prevails. 5 last week, or 2 weeks ago.
Empty house and neon lights. They're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. This overthinking, the more I swim, the more I'm sinking.
Here comes Redlinghase. Redlinghase down the side. Redlinghase. Deeks stopped by Vandermerwe. And Vandermerwe has given his team an early advantage in the shootout. Here comes Reinhard Venter for the Capitals against Mueller. Venter down the left, taking his time. Comes to the center. Scores! It'll be Jack Validus, number 44 for the Wildcats, the captain, coming down the ice against Ruan Vandermerwe. He comes down the right. Validus speeding up. Validus coming in the center. Validus shoots, scores. I think he went 5-hole on Ruan Vandermerwe, caught the far pad and it bounced in. So let's see if Mueller can help his team get back to an equal standing. Stop this, we're all tied. It's Stefan Kleitz, captain of the Capitals. Here comes Kleitz at speed. Kleitz is coming in, down on the right. Kleitz on Mueller. Kleitz scores. I couldn't see from this angle whether he went 5-hole or short side on Mueller, but it was a clean goal. Mueller did not get any part of that. Here comes Bremner. Bremner needs to score to keep the Cats in the game. He's stick handling. He's saved by Vandermerwe. The Capitals win and get 2 valuable points. While the Wildcats will pick up a single point for forcing overtime. But it'll be interesting to see whether that single point they've given up to the Wildcats affect their standings with the Cape Town Kings. Because I think that brings them level with the Kings now, but the Kings have a game in hand. So we'll see how it plays out next Wednesday in Gauteng, and then the final 2 games of the South Africa Super League will be between the Pretoria Capitals and the Cape Town Kings, probably for all the money in the tournament. The man of the match for the Johannesburg Wildcats, number 44, Jack Valentine. And for the Pretoria Capitals, the man of the match, number 20, goalkeeper Ruan Vandenberg. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings this game to a close. An exciting 3-2 overtime victory for the Pretoria Capitals over the Johannesburg Wildcats in a sudden death shootout, settled in the first 3 shooters. And the same 2 teams will square off against each other next Wednesday night from the Forest Shopping Center ice hockey rink. I believe the puck drops at 5:30. And that'll be the final game of the Gauteng leg of the 2025 South Africa Super League Series. Again, the players of the match for the Johannesburg Wildcats, the captain, number 44, Jack Validus, who had one of their goals tonight. And for the Pretoria Capitals, number 20, goalkeeper Ruan Vandermerwe, who bailed them out certainly in the sudden death shootout to win the game for the Capitals. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the action. Hope we see you next week. And for the 2 games in Cape Town, good night and God bless.
Messing with my head again.